Efectos negativos de la pandemia en la salud mental es un escenario que diversas voces han advertido. Es que la magnitud de la crisis sanitaria del COVID-19 cambió nuestras vidas y desafió nuestra inteligencia emocional. Para hablar sobre esto, Carolina Escobar entrevistó a Marc Brackett, director y fundador del Centro de Inteligencia de Yale.
So Marc Brackett, founder and director of the Yale Center of Emotional Intelligence, thank you so very much for being with us and to have this conversation with us. And I just wanted to start asking you, how are you actually? Because that's the main question, right?
I know it is, but that's what I usually ask other people, not like to ask that question. I'll be honest with you. I am tired. I have just started going back on the road to do presentations, and I was out in Idaho, and then there were airport problems, and I had to go to Boston, and then I got into Boston at 2 o'clock this morning. I had to give a talk at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to get home. I mean, good problems to have, but I'm tired, but I'm excited because I'll just say that, my second love in life is speaking Spanish and doing work in other countries, including Spain and Mexico and ahora Chile. And so I'm just really, you've perked me up.
Well, you know what? We'll make this conversation fun and entretenida then, so that is not the tiring finish of your day. Hopefully the finish of your day, the last thing to do.
Well, the last thing I would like to do is have a glass of Chilean wine, to be honest with you.
Well, let's hope.
You guys probably, respectfully should have sent me a bottle of wine for this, but it's okay.
You know what? I totally agree. It wasn't in my hands though, but we'll ask who is in charge to send you a bottle of wine. I think that should happen. Absolutely.
Just kidding.
Okay, well, then second question would be, if you could explain us the core pillars of emotional intelligence.
Sure. So emotional intelligence from our perspective has 5 skills. And the first is recognizing emotions, reconocer emociones. Recognizing emotions in oneself. So how am I feeling? But also, like right now on Zoom, right? I'm watching your facial expression and I'm trying to listen to your vocal tones and I'm trying to make meaning, out of your experience. Then there's understanding emotion, comprender. Why am I feeling this way? Where's it coming from? What's the difference between the feeling of anger or disappointment? Then there's labeling emotion, etiquetar emociones. What is the precise word that really articulates clearly what I'm feeling? The 4th skill is expressing emotions, expresar emociones. What's my comfort with being true with you, to being open and authentic and honest? Do I feel safe? And then finally, it's regulation of emotion. So, las estrategias para regularse las emociones. So what are those strategies that we use to help deal with the difficult emotions, but also create the ones that you created, the inspirational feelings to do an interview? And so RULER is the acronym that we use in English to describe those 5 skills.
What role do emotions play in a day-to-day making decisions? So that we can understand how important it is.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, emotions matter for everything, literally everything, from our attention. So for example, because I'm a little tired, I got to put extra effort, right, into being attentive. If I'm stressed out or overwhelmed about life, then I'm wondering about, am I going to be safe? Not, can I be a good student in school? So emotions drive our attention. The second is they influence our decision making. Every day we're making decisions. We think we're cognitive people, like I chose that because that's the right thing. But research shows that our emotions are underneath much of our decision making. The third is relationship quality. When you wake up and you think about the people in your life who have made your life difficult, you don't say to yourself, can't wait to see them today, right? You say, oh, cannot believe I have to spend time with this person. It's effortful, it's draining. So emotions, right, are what's behind our relationships. They tell us to approach or to avoid. The fourth is our mental health. I mean, I think the pandemic has really taught us that emotions matter a great deal for our physical and our mental health. And finally, performance and creativity. I work at a university where we pride ourselves, right, on people's academic ability, right? Everybody has good test scores and good grades in school. And so for me, coming into the university, I just assumed everyone will be successful. But it's not the case, because if you can't deal with your feelings, like frustration, overwhelm, disappointment, harsh feedback, oftentimes even the people with the most developed cognitive skills don't achieve their dreams.
Absolutely. Though from 1995, fast forwarding to 2021, how much have we advanced on the subject? Because it's been a while, but it seems that we still don't recognize our emotions, right?
Well, my argument is that we, in general, are still afraid of feelings. Mm-hmm. It's why I didn't call my book Emotional Intelligence for Success in Life. I called it Permission to Feel, because I still believe that we are a society, maybe even a world, if we bring in Chile, where we still grow up thinking that we can't always be authentic. We have to suppress our feelings. There are gender differences in feelings, right? Men can only express these emotions. Women can express those emotions. If women express these emotions, they are seen differently. If men express them, they're weak. We have feelings about our feelings. If you're bullied, you don't tell anybody because you're ashamed that you're bullied, because that means you're not a tough person. And so I think that we still have a lot of work to do in terms of getting people to recognize the value and importance of emotions.
Well, and talking about that, and now going to your book, Permission to Feel, in it, you propose strategies that will help you or facilitate emotional regulation. Could you share some of them with us?
Yeah, I can share hundreds. And I need all hundreds, to be honest with you. So the way I think about it more recently, actually, I've spent the last year kind of really dissecting, what does it mean to regulate your feelings? Mm-hmm. And I think the first piece goes back to permiso para sentir, that we have to just move away from judging our feelings. There's no good emotion, there's no bad emotion. I've always had a lot of anxiety, and the pandemic made it more so, because here I was leading a center from my kitchen table, not seeing some of my team members for over a year and a half. Difficult.
Yeah.
People getting virus, people getting sick, stock market changing. I mean, lots of reasons to be anxious. I share that with you because I think the first step is just acknowledging that there is no such thing as a good or bad emotion. And what that does is it liberates us from not sitting in the seat of judge. Because it's when we judge our feelings that they start having deleterious effects on our health and wellness.
Though in order to find and apply those strategies that you were talking about, it seems that you need to know a lot of yourself. So to have a prior and deep acknowledgement and understanding of yourself in order to be able to apply this. So is that knowledge already in everybody or in most of the people?
Definitely not. We're not born with emotional intelligence. We're born with a personality, right? We're born with a temperament, but we're not born I didn't even know there were so many words that we could use to describe our feelings. Think about that. We're not, most people, like ask me how I'm feeling, Carolina.
How are you feeling, Mark?
Fine.
Exactly.
That's what you say in Spanish. What do you say? Bien, más o menos. And you're done. I think we get trained over the course of our lives to not, we just don't share. We just say fine. It's a burden to tell people how we really feel, especially when it's unpleasant. There's expectations too that if I share with you, you're gonna listen, right? And you're gonna offer that support that I might need. Mm-hmm. And I think we're so busy, everybody's so productive and working and getting good, going to school and trying to make money, that we don't really pause to build those connections, to build that emotional self-awareness. And so it's got to be taught, it's got to be practiced, right, over the course of our lives.
So this is a matter directly associated with time, right?
Definitely. We spend plenty of time working. I think about how many hours people work in a day. We spend a lot more time than we need to be on social media and watching television. Why don't we dedicate some time to building emotional self-awareness?
Well, and in that sense, and just because it has a certain amount of time, I don't know if you've read or you've heard of the current process that we're going through here in Chile, which is rewriting our constitution. So therefore, there is a diversity of professionals that have come together in a asamblea constituyente, right? So a constituent assembly, and topics, though they need to reach consensus within a period of time. Mm-hmm. In moods, according to your research, affects the outcomes significantly. So should they apply emotional intelligence like on a daily basis in order to have this work?
Definitely. Yeah, because if you're rewriting a constitution, my hunch is that different people are going to have different feelings about that. Because I don't know the details.
One matter in the Constitution.
What's that?
About just one matter in the Constitution. Yeah. So imagine the whole document at the end of the day, or the period that they're discussing it.
Yeah. And so any decision we make, any change we make, right? Think about American politics last year. They were really tough. Everybody had feelings. And if we're not able to empathize and listen to everyone's feelings, then how are we going to have a society? How are we going to have a society that functions? And so I think we have to do a lot more listening, a lot less talking.
Well, and going back to Panama and Irene, yeah. I know you can speak Spanish. And so I would love to have I don't know if a message, maybe just a sentence, maybe just a word, maybe an emotion in Spanish to just inspire Chile and then the conference that you'll be giving for the Congreso Internacional de Educación too. So if you would just leave us with that.
No puedo esperar a hacer la presentación en el Congreso y quiero darles el permiso para sentir.
Wonderful. Thank you. Marc, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Hope to see you soon too. And hope not far from today, you'll be able to visit us.
I am ready, willing, and able to go to Chile.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you again so much, Marc. Yeah. Congratulations on your book. Congratulations on your work. And it's been, again, a real pleasure.
Mi placer.
Thank you.
Gracias.